Yo, what's up, guys? It's Kenny Trades 52 from Coin Club Trading, aka the Wall Street Cartel on Discord. If you haven't yet checked out the Discord link in our bio, give this a like and a subscribe because we're going to be doing this quite frequently. Today's video is going to be focusing on TD Ameritrade's ThinkorSwim platform. It's going to be a quick walkthrough or a little bit more of an in-depth walkthrough, really. Just kind of highlighting different key things that are in there, and as well as really useful gadgets that can be really essential to your trading. With further ado, let's get into the video. So if you haven't already, you're going to want to go to Google. Obviously, you're going to just want to type in TD Ameritrade .com. Once you get there, go to the main page. Obviously, you haven't made an account yet. Feel free to make an account by opening a new account, setting up a brokerage account, and taking it from there. But if you already have it, you can click Tools and Platforms. You're going to want to click ThinkorSwim Desktop. It's going to bring you right here. Click on the button, download now, and you'll be able to pretty much download this. Once you log in, you'll be able to get to the main screen. As you can see here, this is my home screen. I have a couple different things and features that I want to go over through here first. A couple things to highlight is on the top left, you're going to see your account info. So here you will see your options buying power. As you can see there, your net liquid and day trades throughout the week, how much cash you have available, how many day trades left if you're on a margin account. Keep in mind, cash accounts are unlimited day trades as long as you have the amount of money in your account or BP to be used. Live news, Trader TV, a little watch list. Obviously, you could interchange here and see a couple things through there, right? Quick chart, and then some other key features here. So let's start here. On the monitor tab, you have a couple different things: activity positions, account statements, FX reports, strategy roller. The first two are pretty much what you're going to focus on for a majority of it. Obviously, your activity and positions. This here is where you can see your today's trade activity, whether you have working orders, filled orders, canceled orders, any strategies that are rolling, which you could ignore for now, and something called position statement, aka what are you currently in, what are you currently trading. So as you can see here, I have one instrument being the SPY. I have SPY options open. It tells you a little bit about the detail. What is the contract or stock that you're holding? How much of it in quantity? How many days till expiration? Trade price? What was your mark price or current mark price of this option, etc. And your P&L for profit loss open, profit loss on the day, etc. Here you also get a little bit of news on the portfolio depending on what you're holding. Account statement. Your account statement is going to be something that pretty much tells you what is going on and what is your order history, aka a recap of any type of transactions from any set date. You can kind of come here and you can set it up if you want to see the last, 7 days. You can click that here and it'll tell you here are your order histories for the last 7 days. This is what your cash and sweep vehicle looks like, as well as your trade history, order history, which we already went through, and your account summary. Profits and losses, etc. So it's a pretty nice way to recap exactly what is going on, what options you're currently trading, how many trades you've taken, and if you print this out, which you could do using this arrow here, and you can export it, you could actually start making cool Excel and a lot of other useful habits out of this. FX reports, strategy roller, you probably won't use as a options or stock trader at the current time because FX is foreign exchange, and strategy roller is a little bit more complex, so we're just going to focus on these two for now. Moving to the trade tab. So once again, in here, you're going to see all products, Forex trader, futures trader, active trader, pairs trader. What I really want you to focus on here is all products. Here, you're going to have a place where you could actually search the ticker. So let's say we want to look at something like Tesla. And this is what you're going to get. You're going to get something called an underline. Obviously, you see some criteria here already, right? And we'll get into this. So pretty much you have the name of the company, what the current price is, the percent change or net change in dollar or penny increment, the bid and the ask. HTB stands for hard to borrow, which is something we can get into later. What exchange it trades on, as you can see here, the NASDAQ. And this is what the market makers are kind of factoring in for the move for this current week, right? You also have something called the underlying, which tells you what the last price is, what the bid and the ask is, and during the day this will obviously change depending of the volume and the size. One of the next things you'll see is the option chain, or what we like to call the options ladder, right? So you could actually see this. These are all the expirations. You could see the weekly and monthly expirations. The monthly expirations are pretty much everything that doesn't say weekly. And if you just open up one of these by month, we'll just use this as an example, you could see all the different strike prices or a short summary just by selecting strikes and adjusting this drop down from whatever these criteria preset are to all, right? So now I can see all the different strikes listed for this option chain or in the option ladder and kind of go through here. On layout or on the option chain tab, you'll see there's different filters. You could actually filter whether you want to do just calls and puts, both, by the expiration type, whether it's regular, quarterly, or weekly, how many days to expiration, if you want to range a certain strike price, and if you want to get on a specific exchange. Spreads, you're probably not really going to dabble too much with this. Most likely, if you are new to trading, you're probably going to stick to naked calls and puts, which is just buying calls and puts. So you're going to keep this at single. But if you do learn, or if you want to get into more complex strategies, you could start exploring these on your own. Layout, you could set this to different ways, such as the last price for the contract, telling you the bid and the ask between those two, and the mid price or the mark price currently, the theoretical price and the mark, volume and open interest of these contracts. Obviously right now it's a 0 because the market is closed. Implied volatility, probability out of the money and the delta for it, etc. We're going to then move to a Analyze tab. We're going to see that here you could add simulated trades. You can also check a specific contract and or position and see what the risk profile is on, if the stock were to go up, what the options contract might value at, or in the reverse, if you're going short or getting puts, you could see what it would be in the negative or downside move. Probability that the play actually plays out, depending on the probability range and the probability mode. You also get economic data. You could search by keywords, series of symbols or names. Think back. This is kind of like taking your notes. Fundamentals. If you want to look up a stock and see the fundamentals, you can come here and you'll get a lot of detailed information on the company. This is more of the financials, if you will, of the actual company. Earnings. You can also come here and see previous earnings just by typing the ticker, and then you'll see what the previous earnings were and how they played out according to Wall Street's expectations, what the volatility was and the historical volatility was, and what the at-the-money straddles were. When you go to scan, there's a couple different things here. Personally, you could use a stock or option scanner. This will enable you on stock to pretty much filter and scan based off certain criteria for a stock that you're looking for, as well as option criteria to find specific contracts that you might want to trade. Spread hacker, once again, we're going to avoid that. Spread book, avoid that. IC spread book, avoid that. Market watch, this is kind of cool. What you want to really highlight here are not only just quotes, but also the fact that you have an earnings calendar, which you could see different tickers here and when their earnings are. You have the quotes on different tickers, any alerts that you've set on the drawings. Visualize, this is pretty much the heat map, so you can go through here and check the different indices. Let's say I just want to look at the S&P 500 and see what companies are looking green, which ones are performing badly. And in this exact example, you'll see that information technology previously did pretty decent, mostly green, whereas energy did pretty bad, mostly red. Charts. Now, with charts, you want to see a couple different things here. First, to pull up a chart, you're just going to type the ticker name right here in the drop down, right? You could use this to actually tag it, so anytime you go to a different spreadsheet or a different chart or open up a new chart, essentially you'll be able to pull up that tag and that ticker just by clicking the tag. Make sure that if you want to remove it, you just click unlink like so. And here, you're going to see that you could share the chart if you want to. Pretty much generates a link. You could just name this whatever you want, Tesla 1. Tesla 1. Oh, I guess that doesn't want to do it. 01001. There we go. And you'll get a generated link, which you could then copy and paste and share with someone else. You can also get some information or get a chart describer. It tells you kind of what the standard deviation channel and some other infographics on the actual ticker are. Here is your studies tool. You could then add specific studies, strategies, or if you have saved sets, like so, if I wanted to add the 20-day, 50-day, and 200-day EMA and SMA, I can do something like that, add selected, and apply it. It will then load to the chart based like so. Where it says D, this is your time tool. So you'll be able to change the frequency of the time frames just by coming here, and you can also customize the list and add whatever time frames you'd like. Style, you could obviously explore this. This is if you want to reset the charts. You can also change the layouts of the charts by using this gear, by the way, and coming into here. And then as you can see, there's a bunch of chart settings you can play around with. For appearance, what I like to do is I just like to set the color of the volume bars similar to the candles, and the background I just change to dark black. And I usually take this grid off just because it's a little cleaner look for me. Drawings. Now, the drawings tool is pretty cool. You can come here and then you can select a bunch of different things. So here in this aspect, you have a pointer finger, cursor, trend line. If you want to draw trend lines from different points, you could do so like such, right? And let's clear the chart out real quick. If you right click on the screen, you'll actually be able to clear the drawing set, remove all drawings, and do a bunch of other things here. I also want to explain that this drawing tool here that you see here is also on the bottom here, right? So I could just come here and shortcut it if I wanted to use a price level or a time level. If I want to add text, I could do so. If I want to add an arrow or any of these different symbols here, I can use them. And you can play around with a lot of this stuff. If I want to do support and resistance lines manually, I could do something like this just by eyeballing. I can actually place, different support and resistances using these tools, and then trade them, right? And that's the whole concept of trading, right? I could change the time frames and do different things with that. If you want to add patterns, you could select different patterns that you want to add to it, and it'll be kind of cool to see how that all plays out. So if I add channels up, you can see that the system pretty much automatically plots it for you, and then depending on the different time frames, you might see those channels pop up, you might not, and you could actually play these patterns. They actually generate where a target area may be on the downside and or upside if we go into potentially different time frames like such. Cool. So with that being said, let's get into tools. All right, let's get into tools. On the tools page, you'll see that you have different videos that you could watch here, some live news or different channels. There's also shared items that you could do here and review, and you could actually code your own script for TOS if you are someone who's a programmer, which is kind of cool, kind of play around with that. The nice thing here is there's an education location on the TD Ameritrade system, and here you can actually earn pretty much points and actually go through a couple different lessons here on different things that TOS or ThinkorSwim has already provided to kind of refine, understand, or broaden your knowledge of trading, whether it's stocks, options, Forex, whatever it is. This is the great place and a free place to come get awesome education. There's also a learning center. Once again, this will teach you a little bit more about technical analysis, how to actually do the ThinkorSwim system or go through it, getting some manual steps on how to learn different things, how to do how-tos, learn about the mobile trading, etc., find out about new features, and all these other cool gadgets here. Obviously, you have that help. If you need it, you can contact them and whatnot. Clicking up here, you go back to your home screen. In messages, you'll essentially get any messages like notifications on the system. Like today, we're filming this on June 20th, so happy Juneteenth. And we find out here that essentially the markets are going to be closed today. There's also a support tab, so if you want, you can actually create a support request and talk to someone live. Also, there's some chat rooms that you could use if you want, pretty much a trader's lounge, swim lessons, etc. And you could talk to different people and get a pretty good fundamental conversation regarding trading and other concepts. And lastly, you have the on-demand feature. The on-demand feature essentially becomes a virtual paper trading account This will allow you to go back in time and simulate different trades. And as you can see here, they kind of set you up with a very high cash balance, but this will enable you to kind of simulate different trades and different time frames on, you know, how you would have traded a stock. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you like this content, if this was helpful, feel free to give this video a like and a subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments below and I will get to them. If you like content like this, let me know and add what else you'd like to see down below. Have a great day and happy trading.